Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, The Knitting Equestrian Nomad. So here you see one of my equestrians, or equids. Normally my format is to talk about knitting and my horses. Well, I kind of think of life in seasons, I suppose. So there's knitting season, which is more winter, and then there's equestrian season, which is more spring, summer, and maybe fall. It is May. I think it's May 19th or 20th. So definitely spring here. I suppose I should start at the beginning. My name is Karina. I live in the Pacific Northwest with my partner, our two kitties, and my two equids. This one is Odin, looking at something up the trail, I'm not sure what. The other is Bragi, both Mustangs, adopted from the Bureau of Land Management Wild Horse Adoption Program. I'm going to try to walk and talk at the same time. And I'll have a link to that in my show notes. So this episode is going to be kind of between my normal knitting episodes. I hope to have a pair of finished socks for you next weekend, because I'm well on the second sock of a pair. And Odin is very interested in what's going on out in the forest. So let me see. Yep, whoops, there we go. Looking off. There's something crashing around. Not sure what. Oh, people. There's some hikers. So there is a trail over there. We're sticking to roads. Hello. Okay, so we just ran into a couple ladies with dogs. It looks like they have two Belgian Malinois, I think they're called. One adult, very well behaved, another puppy who's so stinking cute, and then another very small dog in her backpack. Come on. Odin likes to stop and smell the roses. So, what are we doing? And why am I walking and not riding? Well, the first thing is that, I don't know, a few weeks ago, I decided I wanted to do endurance riding. And I had thought about it. Wasn't really sure how to get started. I even joined the Pacific Northwest Endurance Riders Club. And it just kind of didn't grab me until I'm trying to keep Odin in the picture, and he's not making it easy. I watched a YouTube video, and I think I linked it a couple episodes ago, where this girl, I think she's a teenager, young teenager, not driving yet, who did the Tevis. And the film was produced, I think by a Japanese filmmaker, and translated into English subtitles and English narration. I was like, wow, that is so cool. So told a friend of mine who does endurance riding, dabbles in it. She's, I think, actually done some riding, endurance rides. And the ride is the Western States 100 miler. It's called Tevis. Sorry, my arm's getting tired. I need a selfie stick. I have a tripod that I could use, so note to self. Anyway, I was talking to her about it, and we were just riding a couple weeks ago, and she said, yeah, she was all in, and I asked her how long she thought it would take to train for that, and she said she thought it would take 3 years. So Odin is 11. He'll be 14 by then. And I will be 60 that year. There are a lot of endurance riders who are in their 60s, 70s, even 80s. So that's kind of inspiring. So it's like, okay, well, that's a really good goal. So then I started, and Odin's been out on the pasture all winter and not doing much. We just started doing some easy trail rides. And so I thought, well, to get myself and him in shape, we just need to go on these walks. So that's what we're doing. I did ride last weekend on a prize ride, which was really fun. It was sponsored by a 4-H club. I think I talked about it in my last episode. Lots of horses, lots of trailers. Rode with like 8 of my friends. So that was pretty awesome. Some of those were new friends. People hadn't met before, but of course we're friends now because that's what horse people do. So then later that week, I needed to get some hay for my boys. And as I alluded to, I'm in my mid-50s and had noticed that when I get my own hay, in other words, stack 50 bales, load and stack 50 bales, unload and stack 50 bales, which, basically is a ton of hay. I'm moving up to 4 times, frankly. My back's hurt for a couple days. Well, even though I had help from my friend, bless her, my back has hurt since then. So I think that was Tuesday we got hay. And today is Sunday. It's getting better. Staying in motion helps. There's a good boy. Yeah, see how his head's kind of down and relaxed. Let's get my hand out of the way. He's looking and chewing. Anyway, so in order to start, it's just good to go on these walks. And one thing I'm trying to figure out is, how does one train for an endurance ride and work full time? I work from home, so you think, well, gosh, that would be easy. Well, I still need to get my 40 hours in the week. So, between caring for horses, doing my work, feeding myself, and, all the things that take up time. And you might say, well, what about knitting? Yes, knitting takes time. I do that early in the morning when it's still dark out, before I get started. And then I do that at night before we go to bed. So right now, this time of year, I'm only getting, a couple hours of knitting in at a time. Odin decided to switch sides. He's on the other side of me now. So, I could take an hour lunch. I have to trailer here to this tree farm. You can see it's beautiful. Trailering only takes 10 minutes to get here, if that. So that's lucky, really lucky. It takes me about 20 minutes, I would say, minimum, 20 minutes to 30 minutes to get Bragi in the round pen, Odin's hoof boots on. So he wears front hoof boots. Normally he's barefoot. I don't know if he'll cooperate. So, yeah, you can see his good boy. So I don't know if you can see those. They're just hard, very sturdy plastic hoof boots. Come on, buddy. Get those on to protect his feet from the rocks that are on this road we're on. So I can show you the road. So we're on a forest road in a privately owned tree farm, and the owners graciously allow recreation, so horseback riding, mountain biking, and hiking, of course. So there's lots of little trails around here too. We have been on some of those. The trails are closed in the winter, and they just opened up May 1st. So lots of people out using those trails. The roads are open year round, which is really nice. So anyway, like I said, it takes me a minimum of 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes to, if I'm like super organized, to get Bragi in the round pen and settled, and then Odin in the horse trailer, and here. That would I would say 30 minutes would include getting to the trailhead. And so then I want to get in a decent walk. Well, what's a decent walk? So in part for my fitness. Now, I also want to point out one of the reasons why I'm walking is because I need to get myself fit and my horse fit. I need to be prepared to walk a long ways sometimes, like what if he gets hurt? Then I need to be prepared to walk. So I want to be prepared to walk at least 10 miles. So I'll just show you the background here. Clear cut. Yeah, so that's part of it. So I'm just walking him as if he were a big dog. So, and what we're doing is, I don't mind if he takes a little trail snack. I think that's good. Yeah, that's probably not good because he spit it out. So let's make a better choice. You know, we're training for a number of things. We're training on getting in the trailer and going places. We're training our fitness for both of us. We're training Bragi to be by himself in the round pen and be okay with it and understand that Odin goes away and then we all come back. And yeah, eat that. Okay, he found some grass, so I'm gonna let him eat it. So today's Sunday. I have more time today. I do have a commitment to Zoom with my mom and my sister who live in another state at noon. So I wanted to get out here early there and get back. So I set my timer for 45 minutes. So we'll walk for 45 minutes in a direction. I'm exploring there's a million little roads in this tree farm, which is super nice. So I've been exploring roads and trails and just try to figure out where I am. For one thing, I have a terrible sense of direction. So I know how to read a map, so that's good. I don't carry a compass with me. I should. Note to self, tripod and compass. So typically what I do in order for me to make sense of the trails is, I just walk out and back. It's pretty easy to walk out and walk back without getting lost. I'm not, once I start connecting the dots, I can do some loops, which will be more fun. I do have friends I can ride with, but most of them don't like to get out this early. I mean, it's 9, so not super early, but yeah. Most of them like to get out in the afternoon. I'd like to do some gardening this afternoon. Hi. So after I Zoom, so that's kind of the way my day is shaping up. So I guess the question I'm trying to answer here is, how am I going to do this during a work day? And I think the answer is, there are going to be days during the week that I have a good 3-hour break. And between meetings. So I think what I'm going to do is block out that time. And then on my busier days, I'm going to work like 9 or 10 hours just so that I can, be fair to my employer and, get what I need. And I feel like they would support that. The other thing is, I am a new employee to this organization. I started in January. Yeah, you should eat that. You should totally eat that. Big, nice clump of juicy grass. So yeah, they would support that. But they are, but I am new, so I just want to, I want to do right by them, and of course, make my probation, which is in July. It's a 6-month probationary period. So, I think I'm doing good work. I haven't heard any negative feedback, and typically what happens is, he found a really good patch of grass. So, and I don't mind that he's doing that. I can show you the view also. So the ocean is that way. I don't know if you can see that. When we come back, I'll try to do a little filming so it's when we're at the top of the hill. So you might be able to hear the freeway too. So anyway, that is what I'm trying to figure out. So I think I am going to try to have to, you know, block out like 2 and 3 hour times. Oh, there's a deer. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show that. So there's these 2 brush piles. There is a deer closer to the one that's on my left shoulder. So I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. Oh, there's 2, at least 2, maybe 3. I think I see. No, that might be it. Yep, there's 3. Oh, that's cool. Okay, buddy, let's keep walking. We'll stop on the way back. Come on. Here we go. So, no, we'll stop on the way back, I promise. This is a really nice grassy patch. So, I know now it's going to be, now that I've let him, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to keep him going. And this morning, it was kind of funny when I went to get him. I mean, both of them were a little bit suspicious of me. So neither one of them was really willing to come up to me. And so I had to halter Bragi, put him in the round pen with his hay. Come on, I know, that's Clover, that's good. So, so this path, there's a lot of grass down the middle, so it's going to be, I might have my lead rope arm might be a little sore. So, wow, what a nice meadow. So, anyway, and in fact, when I put Odin's hoof boots on and went to go get his halter, he walked away from me, and he almost never does that. And Odin's the type of horse who, he is always going to take the easy way. So he's not particularly motivated. He doesn't care one whit about my goals. And I understand that. But I told him that he has to, you know, he has to earn his living somehow. And then, you know, maybe Bragi will, who's my younger Mustang and not ready to ride yet. Maybe Bragi will take over that ambition someday. Bragi has a little bit more motivation, a little bit more spunk. So I guess we'll find out. But anyway, that's all I have to say for now. So maybe I think I'll end this section here. And maybe on the way back, I'll check in again. Okay, so here is the end of the line. So impassable. So we're going to turn around. Odin has tried to eat all the way down. You can see that it's very green in the middle of this road. Yeah, but of course now that we're stopped and I'm saying, okay, eat, he's not gonna. Yeah, I don't know what goes on with you. His ears are pointed kind of backwards, so I don't know if there's something up there that he's kind of paying attention to. But now he decided to eat, which is good. It's a sign of relaxation if they can eat. So that's always good. So I'm gonna let him eat for a second, and then we'll head back up the hill. So we only have like 19 minutes left of our 45 minutes. So we are going to be heading, I hope that's edible, whatever it is you're eating. So we will be heading off in another direction for a little bit. So I'll see you then. As promised, we're back up at the meadow. Can you see the ocean now? It's so gray, it's hard to tell. But as promised, I told Odin when we came back, when we got to the meadow, he could have a snack. And one of the reasons why I do that is that I want this to be enjoyable for him, not just me being a taskmaster and say, you have to do this. He has to get something out of it because, like I said, horses don't really have, I'm trying to get him in there, which I'm not doing a very good job, apologize for that. There we go. You know, horses don't set goals. They don't have Olympic dreams or Tevis dreams or anything like that. So they are our partners and we feed and take care of them. So in that respect, it's nice to have some willingness on their part to do some of the things that we would like to do. So, but I would also like him to, and he doesn't understand exchanges. So I want to make this enjoyable for him. so that, yeah, we go somewhere, you know, you get to have some really tasty grass and do some of the things you like to do. It might even mean that he gets to roll in some, I don't know, some old bark or dirt or something that he wants that will help him want to do this. So one more attempt at the view, and then I think we're going to get going. Okay, there's a fabulous view of the Puget Sound. Let me see here. Okay, there it is. Oops, sorry, but it is back there. Yeah, well, there it is. So that's the Puget Sound. So I thought I would share that since it's beautiful. Okay, so we are exploring a dead-end trail that looks like a service road, probably to the septic system to this lodge here. We'll carry on. Come on, oh, come on. So this lodge is part of the famous Dale Chihuly Pilchuck Glass School, which had very humble origins in the 1970s. In fact, my childhood friend, Wendy, and I used to ride her horses up here. She had 2 Appaloosas, and we used to ride up here then when we were in elementary school. And back then, the glass school was like literally a couple shacks with the glass blowing equipment. I guess that's what you call it. So yeah, this, well, it's 2023, so, you know, over 50 years later, it's really turned into I think a kind of a world-class school, and tours are offered and stuff like that. So I will try to remember to put a link to that in my show notes. So I can't promise that I'll remember to put everything I promised in the show notes. So anyway, we're going to carry on. We have about 10 minutes in this direction before we turn around and head back to the trailer. All right, see you then. So we've just turned around, and are headed back to the trailer. We're at least a half hour away, if not further. But I just wanted to give you a view of the woods. It's quite pretty. There's a trail on the left coming up that I would like to explore. Odin doesn't have an opinion about that. And there's also on the trail to our right that I'm hoping comes back out over there where we had turned around. So this will be on our agenda for a future walk, however we decide to manage it. But the trail that I second came across was near the edge of trees up there across from where that old clear cut is. You can see some younger trees growing in it. So it's a very grassy trail, so not used much, but we'll explore it and share that journey with you next time. So we just came across 2 riders who are clearly real endurance riders, and they of course wanted to know why I was walking, and I explained about my back. But anyway, I'm a little starstruck, which is kind of funny. One older lady, meaning that she's older than me, and the other one, I'm guessing about my age, so very encouraging. How could I tell that they were endurance riders? Well, both their saddles had cruppers on, meaning that the saddle, it's a strap thing that attaches the saddle to under their tail, so the saddle doesn't, like if they go down a really steep hill, the saddle doesn't end up on the horse's neck, and that is also countered by a breast collar, typically, that secures the saddle to the front, so that the saddle stays, sorry for the view of the palm of my hand, so that the saddle stays in the middle of the horse's back. So I'm certainly not that level. I could also tell by the little pouches and things that they had on their saddles, and also their attire. Endurance riders typically ride in tights because they are more non-chafing than your typical jeans or riding breeches. So, you know, I guess I could say I've thought about this a lot. So I guess that is helping me formulate a plan. So, you know, it's funny, this route that I take, I don't normally see very many people. Just want to kind of point out the forest. Quite pretty, big old stumps. Sorry, I pressed the pause button. So anyway, I was going to show the forest. I think we passed the pretty part. Oh, wait, there's a nice big cedar. So this is second growth forest. Probably harvested lots of cedars. So anyway, back to my story. I've certainly thought a lot about endurance riding, and I read Aaron Storm's A Gentle Beginner's Guide to Endurance Riding. The podcast that I was referring to, I think it's called An Endurance Rider's Diary. So again, I'll put the link in my show notes. It's starting to drizzle, so I'm feeling a little bit more motivated to get back to the trailer. Odin, on the other hand, he has his own pace, which, is good and bad. Part of it is he doesn't care if he's around other horses, and which is a little bit unusual. Most horses are herd animals, so they typically like to be around other horses. I think because he was in the wild for 6 years before he was gathered by the Bureau of Land Management and has since become domesticated. I think being solitary, he has done that and he's fine with it. It's good because I can ride by myself and he's not worrying about where the other horses are. It's bad because sometimes if there's something scary, like say a water crossing or a bridge, it's nice to have other horses who are more experienced to kind of help you along with that. And you can kind of use that, hey, your friends are leaving, as motivation. Well, he doesn't care. He's just like, nope, that's okay. I'll just stay on this side. So that's the yin and the yang of this fabulous Mustang. So, all right, this may be it for this. I don't know if I'm going to have any closing remarks later, but I'm just going to say goodbye now.